This video sponsored by Meeple Movers. No minimum order, no subscriptions. Free shipping on every item, every day. At meeplemovers.com.
Hello and welcome to Brian's Guide Game. I'm Brian. Today I've got a game called Junk in My Trunk. Junk in My Trunk is a 2 to 7 player card game by David Coleson and published by CSE Games. In this game, players are trying to be the first to get rid of all of their cards. The game's roots come from a Swedish game that I can't pronounce and uses a standard deck of playing cards. However, Junk in My Trunk brings a fun circus theme to the game. Elephants are trying to be the first to clean up all of the junk with some help of some friends. So let's check it out, and I'll show you how to use the Ringmaster, how these pachyderms can score a 4-pack, and how to peek, swap, and flip your way to the big top in Junk in My Trunk. To set up, first take out some cards from the deck. In a 3-player game, you're going to take out one Ringmaster and 2 of every other type of card in the deck. So 50 through 1, and then the 2 other types of zeros. In a 2-player game, you're going to take out 2 Ringmasters and 4 sets of cards. So 2 sets of cards and 1 Ringmaster have been taken out of this deck. Then you shuffle the deck and place it in the center. Then deal 3 face-down cards to each player. Do not look at these cards. And then deal everybody 7 cards. Okay, once the player has all of their 7 cards, they're going to look at them. So we've got some zeros. We've got 1, 3, 4, 7, 50. So then we're going to play these down now. Since I'm lucky. So I'm going to play the 50, the 0 plus 1, and then I'm going to put this 4 right there. So we're going to be making cards that we can't play until we've played all of these cards and then the other cards in our hand. So each player does this, playing down cards for them to use. And then the other 4 cards you have in your hand is your hand. You are now ready to begin. So then the player to the left of the dealer begins. So you're going to start by playing a card from your hand, preferably low. Now at that point, after you play your card, you draw. So then the next player plays a card and then draws. But the thing is that now we have to play a card higher than this. Now you may also play more than 1 card. You can play as many cards of the same number as long as it's higher than the other one. So I'm going to play 2 5s. Equal to or higher. So I played 2 5s. Alright, this player can play, and it has to be higher than a 5. So I've got a 7, and then I draw. And when you draw back up to 4. That's a 7, so I'm going to play 2 15. No. Yeah, I'm going to play 2 15s, and I'm going to draw 2 cards. And then you keep going around in a circle playing cards. So that's 15, play 25. And eventually, it's going to get too big for somebody to play. So I have 0, 1, 3, and 15. So now I can't play. But I have 0. So zeros are wilds, and you can play that at any time, and it resets it. So that was a 0. Now there are some other types of zeros, like this monkey. When you play the monkey, you play the 0, you draw, and then you play another card. And then there's another one, which is the Ringmaster, where you play the Ringmaster, you take out all of the deck, and then you play another card. That's important, because if you can't play, you don't have any zeros or any other cards, then you have to pick up the deck into your hand. Alright, so that's a swap. So 1, 2, and 3 have special cards on them. 1 is peek, 2 is swap, and 3 is flip. So swap means you're going to take your card and you're going to swap it with another one. Like so. A stack of cards, not just the top card. So you swap both of them. So that's swap. Now, I believe it's this player's turn, and they're going to play 2 swaps. They're going to swap this one for this 0. Now, at this point, we have 3 swaps down here. If somebody plays a 4th of the same kind, either they play all 4, they play 3, 2, or play the 4th one, then you're going to take that entire stack and get rid of it. So now we're going to take this stack and take it off. And then I still get to do my swap action. That's called a 4-pack. Then I get to go again. So now I take the cards, and I'm going to play 2 peeks. And I'm going to look at the bottom of the 7th card. Okay. Now this is important because now I know what's on the bottom of this. So later I can flip it to make the 7 on the bottom, or it can make it so I know that I want to give it away or I want to keep it. So peeking is secret. So I drew 2 cards. And now we go here. There's a flip. So that's a flip. The flip action means that you take these cards and flip it over. And you have to do this on a 2 card. If you, for instance, later in the game when you only have 1, you can't flip it over. All right, and also I've been flipping and peeking at my own cards. You can also flip and peek at other players' cards. All right, so play continues. You playing all of the cards until the entire deck is gone. Of course, some of these is going to be removed because of these cards. So then you're going to start playing from your hand. So play 1, I peek, and then we play. But now I don't draw because there's nothing to draw from. And we just keep playing exactly as normal until your hand is gone. So, for instance, we keep playing around, and nobody's taken it, and I play my last 2 cards. So now at this point, we keep going around. So they play at 50. So now I have to play from these. So I'm going to play 2 50s there. So then he plays, and that'd be a 4-pack. Well, he has hands, but let's say he's also out. He still has his hand though. So that's a 4-pack. We remove that. Then he gets to play again. So now at this point, once you have no more, this is a monkey, which is 0 reset, and then you can play another card. So there's another monkey you played, and then you get to choose which card to play. So we're going to play this one. Good choice, because that was a low number. Now it's pretty much luck, unless you've peeked or flipped. So he went, and we've got like 10, and then I can't play my 7. So now I have to pick all these up and continue playing. Now, since I picked these up, the next player gets to play, and he can play whatever he wanted. And then he can't play his 3, so he'd pick those up. And on my turn, I'm going to play them down in an attempt to stop this player from winning. So that's a monkey, which means it resets it, and I play another card. Play another card, and then I'm going to play my highest card to attempt to make it so this player can't win. So now, when you have to play from here, you look at it, and if you can play it, then you play it down. If you can't, then you don't reveal it and pick the stack up. So this happened, he can play it, and he just won. If this had been lower than a 10, he would have had to keep that down and make this his hand. So once a player has gotten rid of all of their cards, that player wins. That's how to play Junk in My Trunk. Okay, I've got my dad here for parents' opinion. So Dad, what do you think of Junk in My Trunk?
I really like Junk in My Trunk. I have said this before. When I was young, played a lot of card games, camping and out in the tent and what have you. I love Cards with Numbers games, and this one is no exception. I thought it was very well done.
All right, so Junk in My Trunk is a card game, so components, mainly cards.
Cards, yes.
And that's it.
That is it. You can shuffle them.
Yeah.
And deal them.
Yeah. So the artwork is really fun on this. So, like I said earlier, this game came from just a game that you could play with 52 cards, and now it's got cool art on it.
Yeah, the artwork's by Josh Cappel, and he did a really good job bringing to life, adding some theme to this game. And so they really did a good job with, the elephants and the monkeys and the ringmasters and really making it fun.
Yeah. So strategy. So you got your 3 upside down cards and your 3 upside up cards.
Face up.
And then you have your hand. So really the strategy is to play either your lowest card or the type of card that you have the most of. Excluding like 25, 50, and zeros.
Yeah, and I've played other versions of this game, and what I think that this game does really well is they added the peek, swap, and flip actions
on the 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, and that really lets you. It adds kind of some memory to the game, which some people might not like. Yeah. But that way you can actually know what your face down cards are.
It's not completely luck.
Yeah, without those, it's completely luck. So you might end up taking a huge stack. And then, somebody else might have some bad luck and take a whole stack. And so it just seems like the game goes forever.
And something else for this is that if you're playing with people who know what they're doing, cards are getting trashed in huge stacks and you never have to pick them up. Now, if nobody knows what they're doing, you're going to trash little stacks. People are going to end up picking up giant hands. I mean, we played a couple games like that, and then a couple games where... it just depends on what the people are doing.
Yeah, the last 2-player game we played, nobody picked up the stack.
Ever.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, like you said, that's the other thing that this one added is a way to clean out the trash with those Ringmaster cards.
Yeah.
And the 4-pack lets you get rid of those so that you're not just passing cards around.
Yeah.
And so I think they did a really good job of streamlining this. Otherwise, like I said, the other versions of this that we had played seemed like they never ended, and it was like, oh my gosh, when is it going to end? We're just passing cards around, and maybe if that's what you wanted to do, if you're camping and you got nothing else to do,
You're going to pass cards around the whole day.
pass cards around all night. Yeah. So I really like what CSE Games and David Coleson did with this one to really keep it tight and clean with the sneak flip and swap cards, and then also the Ringmaster. So you were talking about strategy. Did you have a strategy?
I said it at the very beginning, and then we got into that long talk.
Well, I mean, like, how do you set up your face-up cards and your face-down cards?
Well, face-down cards are dealt to you.
Well, yeah, but you can flip them, and then you have to remember, so and you can swap them.
Usually what I did was I'd put the best ones down. So you'd have 50s or zeros facing down. So then when you play them, when you only have 3 face-down cards, you know that you have a safe route. Another thing is that sometimes it's good to have a bad one up, like put down a 5 or something, a 4 or 5, and then swap it with somebody else.
Yeah, and that's what I tried last time that I played. I kept all my good cards in my hand and put bad ones up, knowing that I would flip them, and then I would know what they were, because they're not bad, and if you know what they are. Or also you can get away with having 2 of the same. That's another kind of a strategy, is put down 2 of the same with the swap. You had all of the peak cards.
I did.
I had all the swap cards the last time we played, so I
got screwed.
Plays into it as well. Like, I never knew what anything was because I never got to see.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of meaningful decisions, I like to say. So it's not pure luck driven, and they really did a good job with Junk in My Trunk.
Yep. So overall, I had a lot of fun with this. We played actually Easy for Kids. We played it with Lincoln.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reading involved. It's just numbers, simple rules. I think this one's good for families.
Okay, so overall, I had a lot of fun with this. We played it. We played this one a bunch, and we kind of just carried it around for a while, just playing it.
Yeah, we did. We took it camping, and it's a good one. If you're into cards with numbers, classic style card games, go check this one out.
Yep. Junk in My Trunk by CSE Games. Thank you for watching. Brian's Got Game. Please like us on our Facebook page. Send us a tweet at Brian's Got Game. Visit our webpage, briansgotgame.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Brian's my dad. See you next time.